And you're not going to want to miss this. We are firing up the KCAL grill to share tips and tricks to have the best Labor Day barbecue.
You're not going to want to miss this. The grill is fired up, and we are sharing tips and tricks from this pro right here on how to have the hottest Labor Day barbecue.
We're going to tell you again, it's Labor Day, and many people will be having outdoor barbecues later today. We're joined again by John Hollywood Escobedo from Huntington Meats with some grilling tips for your holiday cookouts. Welcome back. We've got different types of meat now. I have my gloves on. I'm ready to go. Okay. What are we doing here?
So let's season up some steaks. We got
Which
some
one?
prime ribeyes here,
Like this
and
guy?
we have a T-bone here.
Okay, let's take the T-bone for the sake of, and now I know, can I just like dump this on or should I sprinkle it?
We can. We're using the same rub that we did over here for the ribs. We can do it on steak also.
Okay.
Okay.
So what's
that
the
one
best
there.
way really to do it? You just
With
sprinkle?
steak, what I usually do is just kind of sprinkle it.
All right, let's sprinkle
Just
it all
like-
on.
yeah,
Make sure it's
just like
nice and
that.
even. And like, how much are you really supposed to put on? Should it be coated or just kind of sprinkled?
Just like that.
Tell
is
me
fine.
when.
That looks good. As long as
that
it's
good?
covered and kind of even, then you flip it over and then
Okay,
do it again.
flip it over. It's kind of fun to just
There you
sprinkle
go.
it all on,
Yeah,
make sure
there you
it's
go.
even, cover it here.
Yeah, you're a pro.
Thank you.
There you go.
This is actually my first time. To be honest. Am I supposed to actually rub it too? Like rub it in or
You
not?
can pat it.
Pat it.
On this one, just kind of
Okay.
pat it in.
So some meats you rub and some meats you pat.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, if there's a whole lot of it, like we did the ribs, you're gonna want to rub it in. Mm-hmm.
But if it's just a little less?
Medium, yeah, just kind of pat it.
Sometimes less is more.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then
All right.
this is ready for the grill now. Let's move this aside. I want to talk.
And I know you're actually grilling outside, which is
Yeah.
super exciting.
I
I know
wanna
everyone
show
in this
you-
station's going to be excited about that.
I want to show you the tri-tip.
Oh,
The tri-tip is
so big.
a little different than most. It's considered a steak, a tri-tip. People call it a roast. So tri-tips, when you go to cut these, there's two different grains. One grain's coming this way, the other grain's coming at an angle. So when you cut your tri-tip, you want to cut right here in the center,
Okay. This is actually really helpful because, you know,
right here in the
it's not
center,
totally intuitive.
and then this one will be cut at this angle here. So you're going.
So this is against the, this
Yeah,
is the
you're-
opposite of the
you're
grain,
going,
kind of.
yes, you're going cross grain, and you can see that how the grains are cut.
So tender too.
Now this one here is going to go this way.
So the trick is to divide the cut of meat, right?
Exactly.
To divide it and then, because if you try to do it all one way, it gets a little messy.
You'll get cross grain, you get a little chewy, you get a little
Yeah.
cool.
Oh, yeah. It
So-
actually affects the taste and the
Exactly.
texture.
So in order to get away from that, you cut cross grain, and that's how I try to.
Is there anything you should like cut off of this, or it's all like good to serve?
It's good to serve. Some people like the charred fat that's on it. If you don't want the fat, you can easily take your knife.
But it's still good to keep the fat on while you're cooking it for the flavor,
Yes.
right? Am I right?
Yes, and then you can just kind of clean it off. Pretty simple.
And do you recommend putting anything on it after you've already grilled it, or just let the...
I don't recommend on. This is a prime tri-tip, so you don't need anything. But if you're using other grades, like choice, you can use a steak sauce. Give it a little more moisture to it.
But that's kind of like a sin, isn't it, for like professional barbecuers? You want to
Yes.
taste the meat.
Yes,
Do you get
exactly.
offended when people use the steak sauce?
I just look at them. But it's all,
You just look
you
at them
know.
like, you amateur, you don't
Yeah.
even know.
So prime stays a lot moist because it has all the marble in it. You can still see the marbling going
So that's
through.
what differentiates
Yeah,
prime?
if you look at over here, see all the marbling inside here?
Yeah.
That's what you're eating. So that keeps the moisture in the meat, where when you go to different grades, the marbling, it starts to lower.
So it keeps it flavorful,
so-
moist.
Basically, if you're gonna go after a good piece of meat, look for the most marbling.
Okay, good. Well, let's end it there, and I'll let you get back to work because I know everyone's going to want to be fed here
Yeah,
in the
oh yeah, we
station
got-
because
we
we're
got
all
some good
smelling
stuff
that
for you guys.
barbecue. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And for more information on grilling and tips from the Huntington Meats, check out our website, kcal9news.com. Click Seen on TV. We'll be right back after this quick break.